Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, I want to say thank you for the opportunity that has given to me so I can present the result of my research. But before it, let me introduce myself. My name is Syifa Salsabila. I am a student in Physics Education Program at Semarang State University with the ID number 4201418012. In this occasion, I want to present the result of my research. This research is conducted to fulfill the assignment of scientific communication subject that taught by Mr. Dr. Budi Naindi Mindiarto MA PPSC. And the title of my research is Developing Powtoon-based Animation Video Learning Media on Newton's Law Material. Okay, now we start to the first stage is a background. Currently, the global world is being shocked by a virus, namely coronavirus or COVID-19. The spread of the virus is so easy that it impacts and threatens human life in the world. One of the sectors affected by COVID-19 is the world of education, which forces the government to issue a policy to stop routine activities such as face-to-face meeting in the class, academic guidance process, formal meeting in a seminar forums, and so on. Of course, this has a big impact, both for students, teachers, parents, and even the government. Various efforts can be made to overcome these problems, one of which is implementing the home learning method through online learning to support learning activities. This is in line with accelerating the implementation of education in the 4.0 industrial revolution era, namely that people are required to be able to adapt to advance in digital technology. It is hoped that this technology can be used to improve the quality of education so that it can improve the quality of human resources and make a nation superior. So that in this case, it is hoped that educators and students can adjust and utilize technology wisely. With the change in learning policy from home, it is certainly a challenge for teachers to provide, develop, and utilize learning media that can support the distant learning activities. In accordance with the statement written in Permendiknas of the Republic of Indonesia number 41 of 2007 concerning about process standards, that for primary and secondary education units, teachers are obligated to use media and learning resources in learning activities. Therefore, it can be said that the media is one of the important things that educators must take advantage of in supporting their learning activities. Okay, based on the result of an interview conducted with one of the physics teachers at Senior High School Wankoba, it was found that in supporting online learning activities, the teacher still uses simple media, such as conducting video conference and distributing material in the form of PowerPoints. Not only that, according to her, during online learning activities, students were less interested in participating in learning, either because of the network or boredom in paying attention to the material. The teachers have a limited knowledge of technology. Is also an obstacle in operating and developing online-based learning media. In addition, based on the result of the distribution of needs analysis questionnaire, various problems felt by students in participating in online learning activities. First is difficulty in understanding the material provided by the teachers, which is only in the form of text without any explanation from the teachers during online learning. Not only that, student lack of understanding in illustrating problems. Next, student not provided with interesting learning media, so student quickly feel bored. At that time, when online learning activities, the time available for the teacher to explain is very little, so that a lot of material has not been conveyed. And from the data, I collect that the material that students find difficult is Newton's law. A total of 16 students considers Newton's law material difficult, and as many as 11 students consider this material the most difficult among all chapters in the 10th grade syllabus. Okay, based on the explanation of problems, the solution for this problem is develop instructional media in the form of a Powtoon-based animation video and on Newton's law material. Why I choose media like video? Because video-based media is an effective solution in helping the learning process. Based on research conducted by Wuryani and Kartowagiran, it is found that there is an effective use of Powtoon-based animated video media. Instructional animation video media like this are deemed appropriate to be developed because media in the form of videos can make students learn independently and students can learn it repeatedly. And the reason why I choose Powtoon because Powtoon is an application over a variety of characters, animation, design, clear background graphic, and we can add music to create a very interesting learning video media. And then the Powtoon application is an application that is easy to use because in it there are already features provided according to user needs. So media in the form of instructional animation video using visuals and audio in the form of sound effect can attract the attention of students. This media contains a combination of image, writing, sound, and animation that are used to make it easier for someone to understand the material. With media in the form of audiovisual and attractive design, it is hoped that it can stimulate students so that they don't get bored in participating in learning. And in here, I choose the material like Newton's law. Why? Because Newton's law's material is the material that is very important in relation to everyday life. So, in this research, I developing Powtoon-based animation video learning media on Newton's law material. And the purpose of this research is knowing how to develop instructional animation video media and how effective the development of instructional animation video media is. Okay, the third stage is method. In this study, I use the research and development method or R&D method. I choose this method because this method is used to develop and produce a new product and test the effectiveness of the product. Development research is a type of research that is gradual in nature. It means that the activity begins with a research stage that aims to obtain information about user needs and then continues with development to produce instructional animated video media. And the development media I use is AD model or analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation model. I choose this AD model because this model have a systematically structured work procedures. It means that each step that will be followed always revert to previous steps that have been improved so that an effective product will be obtained. The following is a chart of the AD development AD. From the figure, we can see that the research activity begins with analysis, which consists of need analysis and aspect analysis. Then the output of This analysis is used as input at the design stage. At the design stage, the objective is to make the initial design of the instructional video. This product design is carried out in two stages. First, the stage of selecting and determining the software to be used. In this research, the software that will be used is Mega Animation by Powtoon and KineMaster. And the second stage is designing and developing the script into storyboard form. And then, the output of the design stage is used as an input at the development. At the development stage, the script that has been created is the script that has been created is then converted into a product that is ready to be implemented, which is a program containing text, audio, images, and animation. Before proceeding to the implementation stage, the instructional animation video media was tested and validated by experienced experts like media expert and material expert. After the product is validated, the weakness and deficiencies of the product will be identified. This weakness was later corrected. The improved development output is then applied to students at the implementation stage. And the final stage is evaluation stage. Is a stage to determine the effectiveness of the product that has been developed. And the data obtained from the assessment of media expert, material expert, and student trial using a questionnaire distributed via Google Form. This questionnaire is in the form of checklist, which is divided into 5 categories and given to media expert with the aim of knowing the feasibility of the media being developed, and giving to material expert to determine the suitability of the material content with the objective and learning indicators, and then questionnaire responses from students regarding the learning process using the Powtoon-based learning animation video media. The reason I chose this questionnaire instrument because in the form of a checklist is very easy to fill in and is effective in terms of time. This research was conducted starting on 5th October 2020 at the Semarang State University. And the test subject in this study were material expert by the physics teachers of Senior High School 1 Koba and media expert by media expert by student of Professor Dr. Hamka University and user test by 24 physics education student of 5th semester at Semarang State University. The type of data that has been collected through a questionnaire is quantitative data. Then, this data was analyzed using a percentage descriptive technique. The steps to analyze the data is first, quantitative checking result according to predetermined indicators by giving scores according to predetermined weight. Second is create the data tabulation and then calculate the percentage of each sub-variable with the formula P equal with S divided by N and then multiply by 100% with the P is percentage of sub-variable, S is the total score for each sub-variable, N is the maximum number of scores. And the next step is, from the percentage obtained, we convert it into tables to make it easier to read the result. This quantitative data is then converted into qualitative data. To determine qualitative criteria is done by, first, we determine the maximum score percentage. In here, I use 100%. After that, we determine the minimum score percentage. In here is 20%. After that, we determine range it from 100 minus 20 is 80. After that, determine the desired interval. In here, I use 5. It means there are categories like not good, less good, enough, and good, and very good. The last is determines the width of the interval. In here, we get from 80 divided by 5, it means the 16. Based on the calculation, the percentage rank and qualitative criteria can be determined as in the following table. Okay, now we move to the next stage is a result and discussion. The development of a Powtoon learning animation video on Newton's law material is validated by two experts, like media expert and material expert. First in here is the validation test conducted by media expert. We can see the result in the graph. From the graph, we know that there are three indicators of media expert. There are media, program view, quality, technical, effectiveness of programs. From the graph, we know that the validation task conducted by media expert from the media aspect obtained an average value of 85%. It indicates that the program is easy to manage, so that it is easy to reuse as a medium for independent learning for students. And after that, in the term of appearance or program view, the program obtained an average score of 87%. This shows that the appearance, animation, music, language, and clarity of sound in the media are very suitable to be used as learning media for students on Newton's law material. And the assessment from the aspect of quality, technical, and program effectiveness is 90%. It provides information that the instructional animation video media is in accordance with the learning objective, arranged systematically and densely so that is effective to use. Based on the data analysis, the total average score obtained is a percentage of 87.3%. The result obtained from the assessment by media expert fall into the very good category. It indicates that the instructional animation video media that I developed are very suitable for use in learning activity in terms of media. After the media is tested by a media expert, the next assessment is carried out by the material expert. Material expert testing was carried out by the physics teachers at Senior High School 1 Koba, and the validation test conducted by media expert we can see in the graph. From the graph, we know that in the material expert validation, there are two indicators like education and accuracy of material. From the graph, we know that the validation task that has been carried out by material expert in terms of education obtained an average value of 89.6%. This shows that the material presented is mathematically structured and in accordance with the learning objectives in the school curriculum. And then assessment in terms of accuracy of the material obtain a percentage of 90%. This gives information that the language, image, and animation are very appropriate and suitable for clarifying the material. Based on the data analysis, the total average score obtained a percentage of 89.9%. The result obtained from the material expert assessment fell into the very good category. It showed that the material in the Powtoon-based learning animation video media on the subject of Newton's law material is said to be valid and the program made is in accordance with the objective to the achievement. Then, the product was tested on students. This Powtoon-based learning animation video on Newton's law material is uploaded on YouTube, so it is easily accessed by students. The effectiveness of the use of instructional animation video media in this study was measured by the student response questionnaire, namely 24 by 5th semester physics education students of Semarang State University. The trial was carried out by sharing the YouTube link with the respondent. After that, students respond to the instructional animation video media. Assessment by the student consists of two aspects, namely program result and program effectiveness. In the aspect of program result, it consists of 6 indicators, and the aspect of program effectiveness consists of 8 indicators. From the graph, we know that testing on the aspect of program result obtained an average score of 91%. Its results indicate that the content and appearance of the instructional animation video media product is clear, precise, and very interesting to study Newton's law material with language accuracy that is very easy to understand. And then an assessment that is very and then an assessment of the effectiveness of the program obtained an average of 89%. It states that the instructional animation video media is effective and practical for use in online learning because it can be used repeatedly, so as to increase students' motivation and learning patience and allow students to learn independently in overcoming learning difficulty on Newton's law material. Based on the data analysis, the overall average score obtained a percentage of 90% in the very good category. From this result, indicate that the Powtoon-based animation video media on Newton's law materials is effective in helping students in learning and is feasible to be used in learning activities. Not only that, students agree that the media that I has developed is interesting, not boring, and easy to use. Okay, the last stage is conclusion. Based on the data from the result and discussion that has been described, it can be concluded that the application of the development stage of the Powtoon-based animation video media on Newton's law material is very suitable for use, and after being tested, it was found that the media was in that very good category. So, there was no need for evaluation or improvement. The effectiveness of using Powtoon-based animation video media on Newton's law material is students really understand the material and they are very interested in learning physics, so that is effective to use in the learning process with Powtoon-based animated video media. Okay, I think that's all. I apologize if there are mistakes both in speech and the pronunciation of words. If there is anything you want to ask, please contact me. Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.